but we have several things we want to talk about with the community today and bring spotlight to. And the first is proclaiming March 24th as Women's History Month, and I'm not the one to lead that discussion. So I'll turn it over to who's next that wants to launch us down the recognition of Women's History Month.
Thank you, Commissioner Gherkin. And National Women's History Month is being celebrated in Lucas County and throughout the United States starting March 1st through March 31st. But last Friday was International Women's History Day and International Day. And so we would like to, as the commissioners, is to recognize March as Women's History Month. As I said out there at the press conference today, is also Equal Pay Day. And something we have a lot of work still to do, not only in Lucas County, but still a lot of work to do across the nation is getting equal pay. But I know as commissioners here, we have been being focused on that, making sure that we have equal pay across the board for our many women out there doing great work. During National Women's History Month, the Lucas County Commissioners acknowledge and determination, hard work, and perseverance of women. And the commissioners recognize the achievements and contributions made by women in Lucas County culture, in education, politics, arts, literature, science, technology, labor, and the economy, despite the institutional systematic injustices they face. And the commissioners honor Women of Toledo during Women's History Month for its mission to educate, engage, empower women and young women to keep moving forward. At this time, Commissioner Gherkin, if you would allow me, I would like to invite Women of Toledo up here to the microphone. We got Sierra here, Ortiz, and I would like to ask her, as you're coming up, the rest of the commissioners to be able to chime in. At the end of that, Sierra, could you tell us a little bit about Women of Toledo?
I'd love to. Thank you.
Take a minute to do that. Thank you. Here's an organization that didn't exist really 5 years ago in the form that it did, but the amazing work you've coalesced people into doing a major force that we need not only to recognize here, but also invest in. So you've come a long way. I'm looking at your leadership down there. It's pretty powerful. Angel, you know what I'm talking about. Powerful people here. So I do want to point out, if you just went to press conference a few minutes ago out front, who were the leaders of these nonprofits? They were women. Just take a picture and look back to do it. So the Women of Toledo, not through just your organization, but across the whole spectrum. And look at our board. Right? Women are leading our county, and we want to recognize that.
Thank you. I just want to, again, acknowledge the wonderful event that happened Friday. The Women's of Toledo's International Day celebration was top notch. I don't think I've seen so much dancing out of Commissioner Sabecki. But she started dancing when Nina and Sierra started dancing. Then the whole crowd started dancing. And Commissioner Sabecki, I had no idea she had that many moves. But we were celebrating and enjoying the advancements we've made. And we look forward to creating more opportunities and advancement. And I think I know Commissioner Gherkin is going to also help us pass the resolution that all women get paid equally at Lucas County.
Sarah, before you start, though, I would like to acknowledge Commissioner Gherkin because he's what you would call the he-she club.
Oh. Yes.
As he's been surrounded by many women throughout the county and leading and with working beside commissioners. So I would hope that you all would make him an honorary member of the he-she club because we have really put him to the test on every day of the week. So,
oh, Lord.
You.
And then I get home and live with a strong woman. So, thank you for hopefully the inclusion for today. I appreciate both of you.
Absolutely. Please accept this as your formal invitation to be a he for she.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, commissioners. I want to thank you so much for your endless support, for inviting myself and our team here today. Unfortunately, you will notice that Nina is not in this room, and that is because she is continuing to think global and act local. She's currently at a conference for the United Nations where we are continuing our United Nations initiatives including our human rights education. So it is a human right to be paid fairly for our wages. So thank you very much, Commissioner Gerken, for that. So speaking of Nina, she asked questions and was curious. She found a lot of answers, and she taught us to ask questions and be curious. From that, we asked, how big can we make International Women's Day? And as our commissioners mentioned, it was big. So what are we doing next year? We'll start thinking about that now. But for now, we're going to continue on with our initiatives to advocate, to mentor, and to help with economic equity through our economic empowerment, which, again, the commissioners have been very supportive to make sure that we are able to help the women and youth in Lucas County. So I want to say thank you to all of our partners, all of our supporters, and everyone who has had our back to continue to think global and act local. Thank you.
You're welcome.